Hey guys, uh, this is Shakir Mumtaz, a writer, a blogger, vlogger, political analyst, and a thinker. Today I'm going to talk about the very recent uh, event which happened right here in the United States of America. This is regarding the transition or election, presidential elections here, and then consequently what happened during the transition period between the two presidents, outgoing and incoming, Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden. There were a lot of rumors going around that 20th of the January, which was the oath-taking day for the incoming president Joe Biden, as the 46th president of the United States, is going to be a doomsday or very tumultuous and dangerous day for the country and probably even for the world. But nothing of that sort has happened, and everything was taken care of very smoothly. So there were so many doomsday scenarios presented by different analysts, commentators, most like, no voice, which pretend to be seasoned journalist or commentator or analyst, and particularly in South Asian countries, anybody who has been around for a while, uh, he or she is known as a senior political analyst. Whether he has any command on the issues or not is irrelevant. But anyway, that's not the point of discussion here. So I just briefly want to touch on that. That some of these commentators are sounding very negative about the whole scenario, and few of them they even try to blend it with religiosity, like quoting some hadiths, Sufi saint traditions or sayings, and some textual references, etc. But thank God nothing has happened. And what they were doing was probably doing to garner more and more viewers and generate some interest so that they can pocket the money through their vlogs. But I think none of them has succeeded in their efforts to that extent because nothing happened and everything was done very smoothly. After the event, I would like to put a few things in perspective that the current president, Joe Biden, is one of the oldest ever president of the United States. 87 years old, 86 years old, and he has been in the government affairs for almost 36 years, so he is very well trained in the political affairs in different fields, different areas of the administration. So I captioned my article, which I have written about this whole thing, as a cookie cutter president plus the gang of 30. And I'll explain you why it is cookie cutter in the sense that Joe Biden is not going to act like Donald J. Trump, but he will be very much in conformity with the dictates of the deep state, what we generally call the establishment, and secondly, taking care of the interests of the corporate America, which is the second, or you can say part of the deep state, or the second force, most potent force of the establishment or part of it. So these are two factors which cannot be avoided, especially in the politics of the United States of America. And he is not going to allow them or go against them in any form or shape. It is totally What the Donald J. Trump was doing was totally uncharacteristic and out of nowhere, that he was totally against all those established norms of politics in this country. And probably that is one of the reasons that he paid the price and he became one term president only. And not only that, he might even be impeached, provided enough votes are garnered in the Senate, which I doubt very much that he will be impeached in the Senate, although the Congress has voted against him because Democrats were able to gather enough support and votes for his impeachment. But let's see what happens. It's still up in the air. He's very, excuse me, he's 36 years trained, I call him fool man of the United States of America, and he will be definitely bidding for the deep state and corporate America, as I said earlier. He also picked up in his vice president, a lady who is a child of the interracial marriage between a Jamaican, black Jamaican, and an Indian mother and Jamaican father. She's being touted as the first black woman of Indian descent, which is not, in my opinion, not playing very good in her favor, but it is working negatively. And so would it reflect in the administration of the new President Joe Biden. So, but anyway, this is fact of life. It cannot be avoided. It is too late to dampen or negate this fact. In my opinion, Donald Trump would not have enough energy to cope up with the arduous international or foreign policy issues, because first of all, he's too old. He doesn't have much of energy to handle those issues. Secondly, he will be too busy with the resolution of the big mess which has been created by the previous administration. So he'll be sorting those out and keep himself very much entangled in the resolution of those issues. And the biggest of them all is economy. And second thing, which is very alarming, that 40% of the Americans at this time, or 45% or less, around that figure, percentage, people are living in the poverty line in this country. And the result is that this is creating a lot of unemployment, and especially the young generation, which 40 to 45% are being raised without a father figure. That is also playing a havoc with this society, because these youngsters have no idea, no clue of life or any idea about how the things work in practical world. They can't even go and get the higher education because they are dependent on their mother's income, which is barely enough to even sustain the family, because most of these people are working in low-paying jobs, sometimes more than one job, rather very often. So that's not leaving enough resources for them to get their offsprings into universities and colleges and get them higher education. So what is happening as a result, that these folks are either dropping out of the high school, or at the most become the high schoolers, which do not have very good employability. So they are either working on a same vicious cycle continues, and they have to work on low-paying jobs, which is very frustrating for most of them, because when they see the immigrants in this country, most of them are very successful, very well placed, because they are generally very highly educated, mostly PhDs or professors, doctors. They are all from different countries, foreigners. So this brings more and more frustration, and the result is again suicide, uh, getting involved into groups, gangs, drugs, anti-government activities. Sometimes they become lone wolf shooters. So this thing will continue growing, and there is a big lot of these young people, which is going to create a huge, huge problem for this country and the administration. So I'm pretty sure that Joe Biden is fully aware of the situation, and he will try to address these issues, and he won't have much of a time left for the international affairs. And he's smart enough in one sense that he has gathered uh, a team of very highly trained experts from the previous administration of President Obama. But, but what is alarming about this team is they, although they are very well trained, but they are all having a certain mentality of uh, jingoistic mentality, you can say. They are mostly warmonger type of people. So if somebody or those people who are expecting some change in the administration of this president from or change as compared to the administration of Donald J. Trump. So there's not going to be much of a change or difference in these two, or even before that, like George Bush, or Obama. They had been pretty much on the same uh, footings. They have been scolding, abusing, arm twisting, or perpetrating against other countries very often. It also keeps their ammunition industry or Pentagon generating enough funds. So they have their own compulsions, which will keep President Joe Biden busy, and because of his health or his old age, he, that's again an impediment which would stop him from concentrating on international affairs or international relations. So that will create a vacuum which will be filled by these operatives who are very well trained. So either they will be working independently uh, on their whims or on their own thinking, or otherwise it may be that Kamala Harris, the vice president, elect Indian descent lady, she might get interested, or she will be approached, or she will intervene, and she will take charge of or at least some influence in the foreign policy issues, which is definitely going to be beneficial to India, Israel, and Indians in totality. Because she has very good connections with her mother's side relatives back in India, and she has been visiting them, going to the Hindu temples and all that. So it is obvious that she will have some sympathy for India and Indians. And immigration policies, if provided they are successfully implemented and approved by the Congress and Senate, and the most beneficiary of those policies will be definitely Indian. There should not be any doubt about that. HB1 visas and from Silicon Valley in India. Most of these people are will be coming in bulk to United States. So not only that, Kashmir issue is there, Khalistan issue is there, and the atrocities being committed by RSS extremism, extremist RSS Hindutva against the Muslims and Christians. That's another issue where she can provide some kind of cushion to the Modi government. So that's the point of grave concern for people here, and it should be for Muslims across the board, pretty much everywhere. So these are quite a few things which I have written about, and I would like you to read and give me your opinion, candid opinion. Although my article is in English, but those who are not very good, they still can try. They will. But one thing I would like to mention that it's not essentially sensationalizing type of article. It is fact-filled and analytical article, and you should enjoy it only if you have that particular aptitude. If you're looking for some masala or sensationalization, I'm sorry, I don't get into that area. So probably you will not be very amused with that. I also suggested to the Americans that they should wake up and start demanding such a thing like a reform in the police department. And the irony is that most of police officers who are, or policemen who are recruited, they are either high school dropouts or high schooler, which is a very minimum education for an agency who is responsible for implementing the laws created by very highly trained and educated minds. So that's an anomaly which needs to be addressed. And people should be demanding that. Americans should also be demanding the term limit for Senate and Congress and judges as well as chief justices who are right now appointed for life. I mean, the chief justices. So that's again need to be thought about and reconsidered. And I think the term limit should be there for almost everybody and in every department. For this situation which I was just mentioning about the young lot being prepared by aimless, clueless, jobless, which is going to be a huge problem for this country. There is a saying about that chicken will come home to roost. So we all should be concerned about it in this country, and we should do our best to address this issue. As far as Donald J. Trump is concerned, although I have never been a big fan of him, but it will not be fair not to give him the credit where it's due. He has been, after long stages of president, he has been one of the presidents who can be termed as a no-war president. And he also reduced or withdrew troops from several bases. And he is, again, this thing goes to his credit that he is the only one who never started a new war. Rather, he tried to diminish them or reduce them by pulling out the troops from several stations, several countries. Another thing which is, in my view, which is his biggest achievement, whether people like it or not, that he was the only president who truly was working to better the life of the Americans, or for America, you can say. He was rude, he was arrogant, he was sometimes very crude in his behavior, language, while dealing with a foreign head of state. But there is no doubt at the same time that he was trying to work according to his slogan, America First. How far it was successful, how far he failed, it is yet to be seen, and the time will tell when it is there. So I thought to give him the credit where it's due. Otherwise, I would simply be bashing Joe Biden or putting a negative aspect to his policy. Another thing is that although I'm neither Democrat nor Republican nor Green Party or liberal or this and that. I don't get into that. I'm just an ordinary American, and I'm trying to be very realistic. And I'm also fully aware of the cosmetic makeup of this society, which is ideally based on individualism, materialism, and liberalism, and there is hardly any room left for realism. So I'm also aware of that, and keeping all these things in mind, I'm giving you my analysis and my commentary. So it should be taken in the same way, rather than labeling me either way, because I'm not really any one of them. Americans should also demand stop standing up for the judges when they enter the courtroom, because in my opinion this is a vestige, is a remnant of colonial era, and it need to go away, because this is simply an insult to the human dignity. They should also be asking to do away with NRA and Planned Parenthood, or similar organizations which are not helping to better the society but corrupting it. There are so many other things which can be listed here, but let's make it short, and I'll just conclude here. So please read the article. It will be appended below the vlog, but I can tell you the name of my blog. It's Shakir, SHAKIR 2.wordpress.com. So log into that, or you can log into my web page. You will find all the links there. Shakir Mumtaz is my name. I'm an analyst. I've been working here in America on American channels as political analyst, writer, commentator, whatever you call, for quite some time, and I have been holding my own shows on American channels. So please look into this website of mine, or my blog, you can say. My presenting you through the vlog is main reason that I want people to get involved more and more in sober reading, rather than just enjoying the masala or sensationalizational vlogs created by Tom, Dick, Harry from South Asian countries, especially India, Pakistan and all that. And everybody is trying to just win the race. But anyway, they got to do what they have to do. So I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and keep watching. Share with other friends if you like it. And if you don't mind, you can drop a few lines, commenting, sharing, or even criticizing or following, whatever you feel like. Please do that. Thank you. Have a nice day.